Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California and I'm so excited. I am now going to see how much turmeric I grew this past year. I want to go through, pick out what I want to plant, get it back in the pots because we're going to be getting in the spring. I don't want to wait when we're in the spring. I want to make sure it gets a good growing season. And I just want to see how much we've got. So let me bring this over here because I collect all the leaves and let's go through them one by one. Let's see what's in this. Now this one is my stevia, so we're going to leave that. But this one is turmeric. Now sometimes I snuck in some ginger, so if I did, I did, and if I didn't, that's fine. Let's see what's in here. Put my leaves in there because I can put some leaves back. Let's see if I've got any in here. I'm hoping I did not wait too long to get it out. I've been so crazy. Oh, I see it. So crazy busy. Oh, beautiful. There's one. Yeah, see, it's so wet. There's two. Oh my, this is packed. I may actually dump this. This one is absolutely packed. Let's see what's it. It's too wet. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get all the turmeric on here. This is really nice, but see how wet it is? Not good. I'm going to put some leaves back in this right now. I am going to plant some back, but I want it drier on the bottom. And I've got to make sure not to overwater. Guess what? They say rain again. And that's what's really hard on the ginger and turmeric when it's raining and wet. Because that's one thing, you can lose a lot of your ginger that way, and turmeric, if it keeps raining. I'm going to mix in some more wood chips into that, dry wood chips, but this is actually quite nice. Wow. Oh, I'm going to have to take these out and wash them real good. I may not plant them right back. Let me see what's in here, because I don't want to leave, wow, loaded with worms. Let's put the worms back. Put fresh leaves in there, so they'll like that. Something else for them to eat. Let's see what's in here. Get out so we can enjoy it. Get some frozen. I don't generally make powder. If you want to make powder, you could slice it up and then dry it either in a dehydrator. I guess if you didn't have a dehydrator, you could use an oven at the lowest setting, but we like it where we pick out the best ones and then we wash it and we have it in the freezer. I really need to get more leaves in here. And then this way in the freezer, it's just like you're eating fresh. You just take it out, grate up, use what you want, and then put it back. We do that with ginger as well. Okay, let's see how much is in here. Now again, like ginger, you can harvest as you need it, but this grows a little different. This grows more like fingers, where ginger grows in like a larger tuber. You know, larger rhizomes, they're just a little bit different. But I don't like the way it's so wet. So I am not sure what I'm going to do, because this is just too wet. I want to make sure I get all my worms back. If I miss some of the turmeric and it goes back in, that's fine. I think this is going to be good enough. It's so blessed wet. And that's, like I said, you can lose, this is from the pine trees, you can lose your turmeric and your ginger that way. It can end up rotting if it stays too wet. I don't see any more. I'm putting the pieces that I'm not doing anything with right now in a bucket. Okay, I think with this, to try to keep it a little dry, I'm going to put some wood chips on the top. Maybe I will pick out something to plant back. They look really nice. I think I'll put that piece back in there. Let's see. I don't need all the roots. It's not really using it right now anyways. You're kidding me, right? I am talking to a hummingbird that is buzzing on my head. I just gave them their food. I'm sure it's almost empty. Okay, I'm going to put this back too. I'm going to compost the roots. I want to get a head start on a lot of this stuff. And maybe one more piece. This way it's not so full, but we'll get a good start. Okay. I may have to go get some more. Well, I've got potting soil, so I can use potting soil too. Actually, is this potting? This is potting soil. You can use potting soil. You can use garden soil you can buy that's a little cheaper. It just doesn't have as much vermiculite in there to retain the water. Okay, so we got this one planted and back and ready to go. I'm gonna try to keep the turmeric here. Okay, let's see what's in this one. Maybe I won't do them all, but let's see what's in here. How fun. Oh, this one's full too. Yeah, I don't like how wet it is. Okay, because boy, can you lose it. And that is not good to let it get this wet and stay this wet is the problem. See, it's so wet. That's not good. Let's put some more leaves back on the bottom. That will help keep it a little dry. Give the worms something to do too. Put that on the bottom. It's the way I do a lot of my pots, stuff them with leaves. Different things from the garden, just stuff them. Gosh, that's beautiful and bright orange. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's see. But I definitely want to get some out for us to use. I'll put it towards the surface. This way I'm ready for spring. And I'm hoping spring will be here soon. There's more turmeric. I saw a piece. There's another little tiny piece. Okay, see, it's just so wet. I would say, see how it rots? If it gets too wet, it just rots away. Bury that. And that might be it. There might be some small pieces hiding. I see a lot of earthworms though. Don't want to lose them. See, some of this is, well, that part is good and part is bad. So I'm going to go through that. But I think right now, I'm going to plant just one piece back. One, as they would call it, a hand or fingers. I think I'll just plant the one piece towards the top. Let me just put some potting soil. Well, maybe I'll put another piece next to it. It's a little piece with some roots. And then I'll have some in the house washed up. And if worse comes to worse, I can always keep it wrapped up in some newspaper. Don't freeze it right away in case I want to get some more planted later as the weather warms up. Okay, so we've got another turmeric. All right, let's see what's in this one. I should have taken it out. Gary said he couldn't find his. Ginger got smothered out. At least I saved some of my ginger, but you really, when you know the season's turning, you really got to get it out right away. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything in here. Oh no, it's in there. Let's try to be a little gentle with it. Again, so wet. We've had so much rain, it's not funny. It's actually very unusual for us to have that much rain. Now, it hasn't rained for a little bit, but now they're calling for more rain. And like I said, it's not just the rain, things don't seem to dry out. Technically, I could leave it, but here's the problem. The problem is they could rot away before the season changes. And that's what I'm worried about. So I want to kind of go through it, save what I want, and plant what I want. Now let's see what's here. This actually looks pretty good. Gosh, that's a lot of turmeric. To think about it, I only put a couple pieces in each one. I I actually see a lot of turmeric. I should take this and hose it off. I'm thinking, let me see something. Let me see if I've got another bucket of wood chips. I do. Gary said he had some sifted wood chips for me that was already broke down. So I'm going to get it in some wood chips and hopefully they'll be drier. And it won't be so wet. I'll put the wet on the bottom. Put some wood chips. You could use potting soil. I have the wood chips, so for me it's cheaper to use that. I think I'm going to plant this whole hand. This whole thing. And this, because that'll just keep spreading. Now the little bubbles on the bottom, these little things, that's part of the roots. And what that's doing is, if it was going through a dry season, what it would do is it would have food and moisture. It could draw from that. It won't grow. What does grow is the top part. The part that's actually orange. This is orange turmeric. That's what's growing. Now, like I said, if I miss any, it's no big deal because I'm going to put everything in a pot. And there, see, it's got the little bubbles or whatever you want to call it on the bottom. That's not going to grow, but it did have a little bit of orange to it. So put that little tiny piece back in there. Yep. Look at how the wood chips broke down. Whatever else I had in here. Okay, I want to go a little drier on this. So it's not going to be dry. It won't dry out on me, but it will sit there and wait for the weather to warm up. And then once the weather warms up, it will start to grow. I don't see any more, but I think there's a bunch of teeny ones that came off. Okay, well that's a good start. So that's another turmeric. And I think I'll do, I guess there's this one more here. And then as I'm gardening, I'm working, I'll see how many more I want to plant. It's easier to tell the turmeric because they've got the big leaves, but the ginger has the skinny long leaves. Oh, let's see what's in this one. And no matter what, I got to make sure all this goes back somewhere because it's full. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful, but again, so wet. Well, if it looks like it's going to rain too much, then I definitely can have Gary put him in the back room. I don't want to lose all the turmeric. Stuff the leaves back in here. All those leaves with your earthworms and everything in there, they'll break down. I just dump it all in there. And then get this ready, so once I start going through this, I can plant it back. So that will give me 4 containers of turmeric, and then I'll just go through them, see what else we want to eat, and then get the rest planted and not think about it and freeze some of it and eat some of it and save some of it in case I want to plant some more in the spring. This is gorgeous. Look at that. See, these are just too wet. So I'm going to have to go through this and see what can be saved. That is beautiful right here. It's just too wet. I haven't even watered this. I have not watered this. See, this, I haven't watered this at all. This is just from rainwater. Here's another beautiful piece. We'll put that in there. Main thing is I want to get this dry. Because if it starts to rot, that's when your earthworms and everything will eat it. Because, well, like nature, it says, oh, it's no good. We've got to get rid of it. Let's break it down. I think that's going to be it. These were bought originally from the store, and I have talked about that. When you go to the store, if you want to try to grow it, soak it overnight in case there's a growth retardant on it. And a lot of times you can be lucky enough to get that off. Boy, it's so full of earthworms. If you can get that off, then it will grow. If it was irradiated with an I, you can't do anything about it. It's dead. It's like putting it in your microwave and cooking it. And they do it both ways, and they do not have to tell you anymore which way it was done. So all you can do is try it. And don't be fooled if you see it growing in the store. It's just because it's starting to grow, it doesn't mean it wasn't irradiated, unfortunately. Because it can sometimes have something left start to grow and then die. And that happens too many times. Okay, I think we're good on this. I'm going to use this and cover the top. That's actually quite a bit. Just so you can see it's just still on the surface. You want it close to the surface, and I don't think I'm going to water any of these right now. I think they were wet enough. And that's basically it for now. And I'll save all this, put everything back in an empty bucket, and I want to make sure the bucket that I end up putting all this in will drain, because this can go into any one of my tubs that I'm growing in, because it's so full of earthworms, which means this soil is alive. So this is great soil. So I can put this in an area where I'm going to grow tomatoes. I can grow peppers, squash. Look at all the earthworms. So don't ever toss that out. I mean, you could put it back in your garden, but if you're going to set up containers or grow something, save that, because all this is just so, I mean, you have a great head start. You have earthworms. Okay. All right, I am glad I'm done. It's been a long day. This was something I've been wanting to do, and I thought, tired or not, I'm running out here to do it. And now it is done. This is all gorgeous. So I'm going to use this probably in a couple areas that I'm setting up to get ready for zucchini, or I might wash that off and then decide I might want to plant a little bit more turmeric, and I'll have it all ready to go. Again, you want to make sure it's on the surface, and you want to make sure that you don't have it waterlogged in the cold. If it's, if it's hot and it's getting wet, but it's drying and you got good drainage, you'll be okay. So I guess that's it. Now I'll go through the turmeric and see what I've got. Have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.